When you look at Everly, Hall, Nugent-Hopkins, Justin Schultz, all these first-round picks have not been hits in Edmonton. They have not worked out, so you have to question that front office and say, do they actually know what they're doing? This is just like rap beef. Back in the day when Tupac and Nas ran into each other at a venue, you know, they had beef at the time, but they talked to each other like men. But when you have the crews looking at each other, that's when you can have potential problems. But as long as you have the two figureheads up front, talking it out like grown men or women, you can get everything worked out. I know the Hawks are very good against top competition. So far, they are 16-4 versus the Western Conference, 11-3 versus the top teams in the Western Conference. However what? Whenever you have some T.I. motivation, you better get on your job, pimpin'. Tell them, get on your job. Jet Terry is making a return to the ATL. That's the team that drafted him. Josh Smith is making a return to the ATL. That's the team that drafted him. So you think they're going to be a little bit more motivated? Not to mention Jet Terry is 6-0 when he's in the starting lineup whenever he starts for the Houston Rockets this season. Just put that in perspective. He's been very good, and I love the fact that he is no longer a negative player. In the plus-minus, he's finally above the Mendoza line, and you have to credit that all to Mr. Barry Trotz, who's come in and changed that thing up completely. And he's also talking about Coach Trotz has limited his ice time, so he's down about a minute or two ice time per game. So to me, that's going to help him even further so he doesn't hit that wall. And since he doesn't have to carry the whole team on his back anymore, he can start spreading it out amongst the team. He should do just fine. I'm going to stay in the division with number one. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. We know that they had a terrible time rushing the passer last season. 22 sacks on the entire season, second worst in the NFL. Now you bring in Dan Quinn, and we know that he has an affinity for rushing the passer. I mean, any team that he's been the defensive coordinator of, they average at least 38 sacks per season. So he would definitely help that, familiar with the division. Also, keep the Dallas Cowboys in mind. Now, I know they're a little strapped for cash, but they have no problem in bringing in players with questionable backgrounds or troubled past. Now, Philadelphia, you can almost say the same thing.
Thank you.
However, I will say this. I have a lot of confidence in Brett Brown. He comes from that tree of Popovich, and he knows how to run a team, was very successful in Australia, coaching foreign teams, and I think that they have the right coach in place.